Hi, I'm Hunter with Small Arms Combatives. Today's video is my thoughts on M&Ps. So we're going to talk about the Smith & Wesson M&P series of pistols. I would think around 2014, I bought a couple of M&Ps, so like the M&P 1s. So Smith & Wesson had like a larger M&P. So, this is M&P2, but, it was like a full-size service pistol. So I was kind of experimenting with that, running that for a little while. And then also at that particular time, I had a Smith & Wesson Shield. It was also the 1.0 version of the Shield. And I used to wear that to work out and stuff like that when I couldn't carry, let's say, like the full-size pistol. And so one of the things that I noticed over carrying a pistol for, let's say, X amount of time. So when I carry a pistol, what I'm doing is I sort of experiment with things. Everything that I do is a big experiment. When I see people come to, one of our training classes and I look at what kind of pistols they have, I see that they have like, Taurus G2C or SIG P320. And if it's one of those classes where we have a high round count class, I'll start to really notice, that pistol. I'm experimenting, I'm making observations. So, I'll notice, what makes it malfunction and, stuff like that. So one of the observations that I have made, this is with me, the 1.0 Smith & Wesson M&Ps, they would rust. I don't know if the finishes, like the, like this coating that they were putting on them at the time, that was causing them to like rust or something. But so far, this one here has been pretty good, this M&P 2.0. But the first M&Ps that I had rusted, especially the Shield that I had, so the places that it would rust, right here up against the body, under normal wear in the summertime, even with a holster with a high sweat guard, okay? Another place, a point of rust, the magazine release button, I would press it and then the mag would fall out. And then I would try to reinsert a new mag and then it would fall out again. And that's because the button had like rusted in there shut from just sweat being up against the body. And so another one is going to the range to practice shooting, okay? And I would notice that those M&Ps would have light strikes. And if you don't know what a light strike is, you squeeze the trigger and it goes click instead of a bang. So you have the firing pin or the striker is hitting the primer on the cartridge and not igniting it. It's not hitting it hard enough. So in that case, it would just keep doing it. I was getting like one per magazine, at least one. Have to do a tack, rack, get the pistol back running. And so I pulled the striker assembly out. So on the back of these pistols here, there's a plate. When you disassemble the pistol, you can go as far as pulling that plate off, pulling the striker assembly out, okay? And the springs were rusted, okay? So being under the humid environment of a shirt as a concealed carrier, I would notice that the springs would rust, okay? So I've been carrying this M&P 2.0 since about 2017. This is January 2022. And so I've realized that this is actually a better pistol than the 1.0s were. They rusted. The whatever coating they got on these now is a little bit different. I did end up having a few light strikes with this pistol here. On occasion I would get one, and I wasn't really sure what that's all about. I don't know if the striker's not hitting the primer is hard. But one thing I can tell you is, if you do have an M&P, occasionally pull that plate off and pull that striker assembly out and make sure that you inspect it, just to make sure that those springs have not rusted or anything like that, okay? So far, I would say, now, I took this pistol, this exact pistol here, I took it through the fighting pistol class over at Tactical Response. It did fine. It worked in the mud. It was raining. It was muddy. It was in the mud. I even think there's even some mud kind of on the grip there from the class. But the other thing is, like, the grip on these M2.0s, they're like sandpaper, so they're pretty aggressive. I noticed that over time that actually would wear holes in my shirt just from that abrasion. I think the pistols, they run good. The trigger is they're okay. I would definitely say they're very, very shootable. You can really, get a good hold of the slide with those snake-like scale serrations. Sometimes my thumb would, maybe just the way I shoot sometimes, with good high thumbs, high grip. Sometimes the slide won't lock back on the last round. But other than that, they're a good pistol. The only thing I would say, though, is as far as reliability in hot, wet, humid environments, just please make sure that if you have one of these, make sure you inspect those striker springs every once in a while. So the M2.0s are a lot better than the 1.0s. I've been carrying, this is a backup pistol here. This is the M2.0 Shield, and I haven't had any rust issues with it like I did the 1.0 Shield. So I got that shield fixed, and then I got shed of it. So if a pistol doesn't work for me, I get rid of it. But that one so far has been good. On that topic, I want to bring this up. I have been wearing this Glock 26 underneath my shirt while working out, running, lifting weights. I've been wearing this pistol underneath my shirt most days for, man, like, I think about 7 years, 7 or 8 years, I've been wearing this pistol, and it runs. This is a Glock. For some reason, like, I want to say this, but when I open up the striker assembly and I look at all the springs that are on this Glock, they look like they're coated with something instead of being just like regular stainless steel. So I'd like to say that in extreme cases, extreme environments, I'm going to go ahead and call the Glock maybe the more reliable pistol. I'm not saying that the M&P 2.0s are not reliable. I'm just saying maybe a little bit different level of care should be taken. Those are my observations personally. This pistol has worked and gone bang every single time. I've never had light strikes from that. There's no rusting on the slide or anything like that. So like these things here, they do work. I've taken these to plenty of training classes as well. Not this particular Glock 26, but like Glock 19s and stuff like that. And so I'll be venturing on to testing out another pistol. So generally I like to go through some training classes. I like to shoot, I would say that 2.0 M&P there's got about 10,000 rounds of 9mm through it. And so I'll be testing out, I'm going to be moving to the red dot realm of pistols for a few reasons. Not to try to shoot better or anything like that, but to be able to see better in certain environments, like with using night vision and stuff like that. I'd like to be able to run a red dot. And there's just a few things that I'm doing that I'm starting to notice that having a red dot, there is an advantage over the open sights. Uh, I'll give you my full idea on red dots. I might do some videos along the way on my thoughts on red dots on a pistol. For right now, if you are someone that's taking a class with me, and let's say you want to go buy another gun or get a red dot, hold on that thought, and then I'll let you know what I honestly think. Right now, I think it's going to be a huge learning curve for someone who hasn't mastered quite the open sight shooting yet, and I mean like fast sight acquisition and stuff like that. I really think you need to make sure that you get that draw down right. Some of those things. So it is different. There are training classes on red dots. So I'm gonna be, this was my EDC pistol. So I'm gonna be retiring this M&P, and I'm gonna be carrying a Glock again with a red dot. And so going with the Glock 19, a Gen 5 with a Trigicon RMR. So that's what I'm gonna be going with. But nothing wrong with this gun, except I just noticed, I've noticed those things throughout the years that I had to be conscious about, the striker assembly and like the springs and a little bit of rusting. But for the most part, I think I'd like to give a thumbs up to the Glocks on just, it looks like in general, like what they're coated with, like the internals and the springs, stuff like that. So, well, that's my thoughts. I hope everyone enjoyed the video and hope to have you out training soon. Over and out.